So everybody can choose one table.
What we doing on Saturday?
Choose one table, one person per table. Because you came over here first, huh?
Absolutely.
Yeah, but it's one person per table. One person per table. Yep. So there's many more. Yes.
Look. You see that? See what I did?
She's like, I'm gonna save that one for you.
Hey.
Look, okay, hey.
Yes.
See, look, work it out. There's another table.
See? Why live life like this when you can do this?
Yes. So we are going to do 5 minutes of speed art crafting, but you have to hit every table. So you can sit there twice.
That's good.
Okay, so, because this is the kind of stuff we do at Finn's Place. Like, it is super mellow, laid back. Let me set my timer while I'm talking, because I'm talking out 5 minutes away, and I'm that person. I don't even know where it is, timer. Look, that's so sad. I usually just have Siri do it for me. But because they're younger people that come, and it's a very volatile, they're in a volatile state, they allow them to bring themselves. And so a lot of that is crafting. A lot of that, they have Dungeons and Dragons. I don't even know what that is. I just know a lot of people I grew up with liked it. And so whatever people like, they are able to do here in a safe space that's, no one's gonna judge you. So, yes, happy crafting. I should have put some music on. Oh my God. Zoe made this wonderful presentation for us. It looked beautiful. I told Zoe about it this morning on the way here, and I didn't realize Zoe was like throwing things in the car and trying to get to the next event. But safe spaces discussion. So this is Finn, and so everybody understands. Have y'all heard the story of Finn's Place?
Yes.
Okay. And so this is Finn, and this is why we're here. And I appreciate the people that did what they needed to do to start this organization, because I understand now even more, especially from the political aspect, how much more trans people are under attack. And so that's why I'm here to advocate as much as I can to provide the safest space. And so as I continue to meet different people around the community, even when I was in Maryland at the coffee shop, like, sis, I see you, making sure those that live here know about this safe space. Okay, now it didn't work this time. Come on, clicker. Oh, I gotta touch the table. Okay, so co-working, safety and security, which is gonna be the big thing here, event planning and supporting. Wow. All right. So, do you have to be trans? Requiring someone to have an identity to utilize the space necessarily, out someone coming into the space. And so that's why I say I take all pronouns. I'm a she, her, hers all day long, but I don't want anyone to feel uncomfortable if they say, oh, well, Candace, or they hear me on the phone, they think I'm a man. So this space, it doesn't matter. You see, I'll say girl, they, she, him, who. If one person wants to be called Johnny for today, then guess what? It's Johnny. And that's what it's gonna be. So we don't want to out people, we want people to feel safe. Oh, okay, I'm gonna just go up here and click it there. Okay, so these are the co-working hours that we have now. So that's that Monday, Wednesday, Saturday time frame. So if you wanted to bring by any art crafts or any things, in-kind donations, or just come and, hey, I need to, do a meeting real quick. We have space for printers. printing, Wi-Fi, air conditioned always, and good lighting. As well, Wednesday is the specific day that's dedicated to creating a space for people working together. When I came in Wednesday, I saw at least 2 people I'd never seen before. They came in, they were quiet, they did their thing, they rolled out. So that was really cool to see people that I'd never seen before. You can rent Finn's place for a specific time that works best for you for co-working as long as there is no standing event and you don't need support staff. So like our partners, once they become partners, they can utilize the space as long as the calendar is available and open for it. And that's good to know, Monday 4 to 6, because I thought it was all day Monday for some reason. Okay, so what we offer, food and drinks. Zoe picks them up every week. And that's what I was helping them haul in the other day. Which is great. Coffee, non-dairy creamers, things of that nature comes with the co-working experience. All gender restrooms. It's funny, the other day I asked Zoe, I said, which one's the men's bathroom? And I know it's all gender, I was really joking. And so they were like, well, it really doesn't matter. I said, because, I hang out with boys and I'm a motorcyclist, so I'm used to stepping over pee in the bathroom. So I always like to go to the boys' bathroom so I can clean it up. So really, I know the bathroom's all gender. We all keep them clean. Like I said, we have the printer, which is sitting right behind you. And then the space, it is open for connection. We want everyone to feel connection when they come in. I'll be honest with you, when I first came here, it was overwhelming to have this much space. But once I started to get to know the people, the space got this big. Because it was we huddled there, but we can use all of this. And it's it just became community for me. And that I appreciate and respect. All right, so the cost, it's free. Finn's Place provides a space free of charge to those serving the community. We work hard to go get the funds. Come here and do what you need to do. You want an event space, come do what you need to do. I know that's not always possible. I thought that when they told me that, I was like, ooh, I got a big job ahead of me. But I understand why, because as a trans person, as a young LGBTQ, not all the time do you have the family support to be able to do what you need to do to move through life. So we definitely have been through some experiences ourselves. So to have a place where I could come, get a snack, probably don't really have the money for it. Probably spend my money because we get people from other counties. I spend my money to come down here for the weekend, so I'm gonna be here for 3 or 4 days. That was my gas money. So now I can come in here and drink and eat and have some snacks to get me together till my friend gets off work. So I was really glad about the free. For a for-profit may be requested to provide a class to Finn's Place, free of charge, or donate a silent auction item so Finn's can raise funds. So we're always about making sure that it accommodates every level, like you were just saying. Donate, if you want to give us money, you can always donate to our organization. It's deductible. And I'm always going to ask for money. Except for Transgiving. Safety. Our doors, we have different access codes. They can be locked at different times. They can tell which one of us are in here based off of the codes we use. I'll always be in here with my wife, so it's going to be whatever code or Zoe. That's just the easiest for me. We have cameras on all around, especially when we have outside events. We want to make sure we're protecting our people are safe. We have Narcan, first aid kits, masks, and know your rights documents. Safety and security probably is connection. I'll say is a big deal, but safety and security is right there with it. And I'm very glad to know where these things are. They are in the first closet door down there if you were to ever need them. Okay, so consider this. What does the safety mean to you? In this space, in this setting. What do y'all can just give one person?
Collective respect.
Okay, collective respect. I like that. I'm going to put that in my pocket. And how can you provide safety for others? Somebody else.
Making sure the team or the staff that's on site is well versed in whatever the safety protocols are in the space.
Okay. And that's good because I ain't know nothing until the other day. I would just come in and just rely on everyone else because they've been here.
Right.
And then they'll just tell me. So yes, we are serious about our safety. All right, so use Finn's to host place. We have TV with HDMI hookup. And it's got the C charger one. I didn't have to go searching through my thing this morning to connect the connector. Multiple sound system options, because woo, they be kicking it in here. New Year's, all that, it goes down. Multi-purpose space. So what you see now is not what it was looking like yesterday nor Wednesday. It was just a big open space. So we can move things around. Staff retreats, we had our staff training, our board training here. Thank you dinners, networking events, lunch and learns, hybrid meetings. I just had my hybrid meeting here this morning. I was hoping y'all would have came in while I was doing it. So y'all get some co-working in action. But I think I talked quicker than I realized. So, because I was really anticipating y'all was coming. So the programs we gather, Finn's Place hosts monthly activities to bring the community together, hosts regular open hours, and had allow individuals freedom to use a lot of space. So movie nights, book talks, I think that is a cool one. Gas Me Up programs, I don't know what that is, so I'm going to have to inquire. We grow, Finn's Place educates, TGNC, the trans community, members about the resources available to them, health fairs, housing panels, resource library. I finally got on Slack today. They probably about sick of me getting it together because all this stuff flows through and then I don't see it until an email or until it's always like, hey, do you want to go to this? So all these resources are very much available because they send them to us all the time. Flourish, Finn's Place supports our business owners, trans business owners, entrepreneurs by allowing them to show off their expertise and paying them for a fair wage. Finn's don't play. We understand we will not have jobs like someone who is presenting as normal. We get that. So I appreciate that with the Flamboyant Ventures, Baruti Spa, Blue Lotus Gardens. My wife is a product of that today. Action steps. So follow us on social media. Pull out your Instagram, pull out your Facebook if you're not already following us. Join our operational security event on May 15th from 7 to 9 for activists. So take a screenshot if you don't have the information. Seems like you already did. And donate to us for Black Tie. So, who knows what Black Tie is? You know? Okay, annual Black Tie dinner, 42 years, because I'm 43, so I know it's 42 years that they have been doing this. It is the national fundraiser in Dallas for LGBTQ organizations. It is the reason why I stand before you, because I went last year, it's $500 a plate. I went last year, when I say the money was flowing, it was flowing for people like me that had to be 32 to come out. It was flowing. People who have children who are now in my community, the money was flowing. So I said, you know what, Finn's Place got to be on the map. And they did a wonderful job last year. Wonderful job. So now we have more requirements. So we need silent auction items. We have $100 raffle tickets for a Mercedes-Benz. I would buy it because I'm that silly person that does that. Just because, knowing I ain't going to get the Benz, but if I did, I would give it to my wife. I was going to say my mama, but I would give it to my wife.
You on video, girl. Choose your words carefully.
That's right. I was like, ooh, my wife's going to get the Benz. But as well, we're selling tables. So that once we're done with this activity, that's what I will be fully invested in, getting the Transgiving together and the Black Tie for November. They provide however much money we fundraise. It's like a crowdfunding. They will give us a percentage back. So if we raise over, like I think, if let's say our goal was $10,000, if we raised over that, then there's a percentage of it more we would get back. All right, so volunteer opportunities. We table at different events, specifically in the LGBTQ community, which is again why I'm on Slack now, so I can sign up for some of this stuff, so Zoe don't have to do it all. Event support. We can ensure that there are volunteers here accurately gathering data about the community we serve, which helps us qualify for grant funding. You see a grant, LGBTQ something, send it Zoe's way, please. Zoe at finsplacetx.org. Virtual support. Volunteers can moderate our local Discord server or ensure that our YouTube chat remains appropriate during live streams. That's real stuff. I ain't even, see, I'll be ready to go in there and pop somebody's hand. Don't do that to my people. And then committees. We have committees to engage on. I am on the fundraising committee. I will take any fundraising person that wants to help that says, you know what, Candace, I ain't gonna ask nobody for no money, but I'll ask for a silent auction item. I'll get you, some gift cards or whatever. And it's not a major commitment, but we do have these opportunities available. I'm only going to talk about fundraising. I appreciate y'all's time in this presentation. I am ready to go take this on the road. And go do what I can to get some more funding for Finn's place, excuse me. So, thank y'all for y'all's time.
Thank you so much.
5 minutes to spare.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Because I'm a talker. Y'all been in here till 11:45, I promise.
Tell the people about what you do and where you drove from.
Yeah, I drove from the Dallas area, like actually Allen.
I was like, where'd you drive from? Allen.
Dude, like, I'm so excited about being here specifically. Like, yeah, I'm a healing justice coach, wellness person through yoga, narrative change, racial healing, all kinds of stuff. I'm a founder and CEO of Yeah Now, which is a nonprofit meant to support people needing full wellness to the point of overflowing. And then, I do work with civic engagement leaders throughout the nation to help support them in being well, to help shift the tides of this country.
Craziness.
Yes! Help us combat the craziness.
Yes, that's what I'm going to call it, crazy.
Yeah. It is, yeah.
So if you hear of free yoga at Clyde Warren Park in
Oh, that's
Dallas, that's Stephanie.
Okay.
Stephanie facilitates that.
Over the little bridge.
Yeah.
How were the people driving under?
That's right.
Ooh, honey, I would be so scared the whole time. But I feel
No,
you.
it's fun. And we're going to be at the Dallas Museum of Art this coming month for Mental Health Awareness Month, doing a free offering of yoga on the lawn over at the Red Sculpture, but also one of my favorite offerings, which is called the class on letting shit go. And so we connect with sacred rage through the practice, but we're gonna come to the museum before it's even open and check out one of the exhibits. It's Marisol, and it's like pop art, but it's like her handling her life, her childhood, all this stuff, and how things can be packaged beautifully, but we're all going through shit,
Yeah.
So it's like one of those things, and then we transition to what we want to advocate for with passion.
Okay.
That's the whole offer, and that's free.
Excuse me, what is that?
Yeah.
What date is that?
That's going to be the 18th, and then
That's a Sunday?
Yeah,
May the 4th too.
yeah. May the 5th is the free yoga on the lawn, and then May 25th we're going to be with a indigenous arts space. Yeah, doing mindful journaling and processing. So that one's that one's more processing in the mind and the heart. That one. Letting shit go is going to be physical.
That's the one on the
mental.
18th.
Yeah. But I do it every New Year's Eve too, so I'm like, well shit, maybe I do it in here. Because I'm all about activating spaces that are about supporting community, specific to things like this, more on the social activism, social justice area. So portion of the proceeds always goes to help support the space
organization.
too.
Okay, well, I need to
Yeah.
get your information.
Yeah.
That means-
But you can see a picture. It's a smaller podcast studio here, and it's just a 2-seater. It's the original podcast studio, and this is also fully set up with cameras, mics, everything to do podcast recordings. Worth Actor Studio is also members here, and right now they're having a workshop, but they're gonna let us peek in. So the Infinity Studio is a space where a lot of film production happens, but it can also be training, it can also be workshops. Jalen and I and others collaborated to have a workshop in there. We brought the couches in there.
Nice.
And it's a really cool environment. It has a big white wall that can be changed with different colors, but also has a digital screen that we can upload digital images and backgrounds. So sometimes we've seen documentaries come here and film. They'll put a different background, and that way there's a different setting for them.
Guys, come on in. Come in. Yes, we are Fort Worth Actor Studio. We're a few of us doing what we call Cold Read Boot Camp. It's a boot camp for actors interested in getting started in the TV film industry, and we're just doing some acting exercises and cold read exercises. But we use this space as a classroom on a pretty regular basis, but this space is also used for photographic shoots. We've got the infinity wall, LED wall, which is really nice for backdrops, and primarily used for photography, but there are some people shooting film in here on a small scale. It's not really soundproof, so it's not perfect for sound recording for film, but it's great for photographic stuff and commercial work. Obviously the black carpets peel out, and then you have a nice white infinity wall back here that is really nice and useful. So, but it's great for all the creatives that office in this building. So I heard you guys are co-officing creatives somewhere around the Metroplex, I presume. And
Are looking for the opportunity to do so.
I see. Very cool. Well, we love Blank. It's a great space. Actor Studio's been here for 2 years, and we're here on weekends for workshops sometimes, and we're also here on Monday, Tuesday nights for adult classes and special events. So,
Yeah, cool. We see a lot of cool work, see a lot of cool people coming in, working on their craft.
yeah, we have about 1,500 actors in Dallas-Fort Worth and beyond. We have I don't know, people in this workshop from 3 different states.
Oh,
So
wow.
we get people from all over the country coming in to work with us. So
Very cool.
yeah.
I've also visited the space for live auditions, for Fort Worth Film Commission, what's new, the laws, so I've been here for multiple purposes beyond all that stuff, and I love the space. It's awesome. So.
Tell me, Alex, what made this event important for you to collaborate on?
Oh gosh. Well, first is being led by the Afrocentric
Stop.
University. So number one, that's already an amazing thing. But I think as somebody who's a social entrepreneur who works and does community organizing, it's so important that we have places to work. Don't get me wrong, in the coffee shop, the library, those are all lovely. But whenever we have real access, that's not confined by hours, or that's not confined by, different values or things like that, then we really get to do good work. We get to collaborate and being able to experience these different spaces throughout Fort Worth, and then the different people who want to do this kind of work and this kind of collaboration is so important to get connected to.
Thank you for sharing. So tell me a little bit about why you chose this specific location for Terran for Change and the Catalyst Project as an office.
So Blank Coworking Studio really helped us out in a major way when Terran for Change was first going to launch. And we were looking for a new location because of complications with the original spot that we were going to have. And they came through and delivered, and not only delivered, but we very quickly saw that they were the type of people we wanted to be able to work with and collaborate with. Very inclusive, very relaxed people that aren't trying to, nickel and dime everyone out of everything, but have a really healthy approach to running a business and making sure they can compensate their staff, have the space available, and support community work. So a couple of years later, when the office idea started to percolate amongst the team, we just so happened to be able to reach out to them, and there was a space that was available. And so we moved on it as fast as somebody could move on an office.
Absolutely.
And as of October 1st, 2024, we've been officing out of this location.
Awesome. So what do other activistpreneurs or organizers need to know about this space, and why this space for co-working?
I think what's really awesome about this space is that it's a convergence of a lot of different key elements. It's that entrepreneurial mindset and perspective. It's bringing folks who want to do good work in the community and change things that are happening. But you also have this wealth of artists and creatives in this space. So when you bring all those elements together, it gets really exciting to see what kind of ideas come together and what kind of work can be created. And so, which we're going to show some examples of folks here. So I'm really excited about that.
Awesome. Thank you, Alex. Thank y'all. Come to Blank Space Studios. Tamika, tell us a little bit about who you are and why you decided to join this crawl.
Well, I am a budding and soon to be flourishing entrepreneur who is, just trying to learn, what is out, what's out around me, and just learning.
That's good.
I'm learning.
That's good.
Because I didn't know there was so much that is available to us and so many ways to connect. I mean, just to get out and connect and just discover, so many spaces, such as this one here. The Spark is awesome. So
awesome.
I'm enjoying myself today.
That's great. So why did you join the crawl? Why was it important for you to be here?
Number one, to get out the house. That
Amen.
is a challenge.
Amen. Absolutely.
The pandemic changed a lot of things. But even before that, I was a dedicated homebody.
Absolutely.
So that's one. And then two, just the experience alone. Just knowing where you can go to, work, be creative, meet people, connect. I think it's very important to know what's out in the city and, a place for you to just create. I think it's really important. I keep saying creating because that's a big thing.
It is a big thing. It's very important. And I think that we should continue to uplift spaces that are accessible and you can easily create in, right? Where the spaces with no barriers or as little barriers as possible, so people can create. So thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Yes.
Memberships. And so this is if you wanted to go directly through Blank to become your own member of Blank. There's also, I'm going to share what it means if you collaborate with Tearing for Change and the Catalyst Project in lieu of membership in case, you're not ready to jump into that. But it's really about the community and resources they bring together. So there's 3 different monthly options. There's the studio membership, means you don't have a particular space that you work here, but you come in here, you co-work in whatever's available space, you use studio space. There's a private office, which is what Tearing for Change and the Catalyst Project has, and there's a private office suite, which there's only 2 of them, and one of them are owned by the Artpoint Studios. All right, so when it comes to studio space, you can get 8 hours of monthly studio time included in the fee, and you also get 8 hours of meeting room time. So when you get into their system and you book the spaces, your first 8 hours of studio time of the month and your first 8 hours of meeting studio time are free because it's included in the price of the membership. For the studio price, it's $150 a month, and they want a 3-month commitment, and then you get access to all these things. There's a black and white printer, there's There's Wi-Fi, of course. There's the snacks and drinks that come along with it, and then you get 25% off additional studio rental. So if you go beyond your hours, you get a 25% discount. Or if you need equipment, if you need cameras, if you need lighting, whatever equipment you need to do something creative, then you'll get that stuff at a discount. Now, I will say the podcast studio spaces are already equipped with cameras and audio. All that's included if you book the studio time. You just need to bring an SD card to record it all. So that you don't have to pay for additional for that kind of stuff. So as office members, we get 10 hours of studio space that we get to use. We get 12 hours of office time, and we get a 30% discount if we end up going over or need additional equipment for things. And so that's kind of what we have available, and we leverage for collaborations with different folks. So let's see. Am I not making it over there? Okay. Excuse me. So all kinds of different creative things can happen here. We went through all the different spaces that they have available, and what they're working on now is to actually have a second location. They really would love to have a second location that is even bigger. So we've been talking to the owner about having meetings to talk about what do organizers need. And so they're really interested in having that.
That's awesome.
But they'll do their own events where they'll have happy hours, and they'll have different, like, I think in the first couple of months we were here, they did a murder night mystery thing that was pretty funny. So like those kind of access to those kind of events to meet creatives, to meet other folks in the network are available. And if you're a paid member, you also get an ID with the system that locks the doors and security code and everything. So you get 24/7 access if you ever need it. Okay. All right. So that is if you are going to do a separate membership directly through Blank as your own business or as a social entrepreneur or organization. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about Terran for Change first. So what is the Terran for Change mission? We want to develop and sustain a grassroots organizing infrastructure that centers our local diverse communities and builds collective power for change in Tarrant County. Unfortunately, in Tarrant County, we actually don't have an organizing infrastructure that actually helps support all these things. We want to help build it. So we envision a Tarrant County where local grassroots organizing is valued, fully resourced, and thriving to drive transformative change, where diverse voices are centered and collective power is built. We strive for a future where resources are distributed equitably and every community member has access to opportunities, support, and growth. And we're working for a safe, just, equitable, and inclusive community in Tarrant County. Those are our values. So the way we do that is we connect, develop, collaborate, and invest. So when we connect with diverse local community organizers and organizations working for change within our communities. That can be showing up at government meetings, going to different social efforts like our launch party that happened here, which is right there in the middle. We'll do community cookouts, or other organizations will, tabling. And then we also do Connect for Change, which is our effort to bring the public in. So they may not be an organizer or see themselves as an organizer, but they're trying to find their place. And so we want to help them on that journey to be able to find that place and to be able to connect with folks. The next thing we do is collaborate with diverse local community organizers and organizations for community-driven actions and solutions for systemic and inclusive change. So in some ways we've collaborated around National Voter Registration Day. Are we in as many spots in Tarrant County as possible, or is everyone consolidated in 2 or 3 spots? Like, that doesn't help us. We need to be everywhere, right? The Inclusivity Project was with some organizers in HEB to find businesses that are aligned with our values so that people are encouraged to go there. The FWCC works on environmental justice. It's a collection of different organizations in Fort Worth, and many other collaborations that happen. Then we want to develop community organizers and organizations through training, networking, and capacity building. We develop new organizers and initiatives and organizations through collaboration and social entrepreneurship. And so we've helped develop the 4th Black and Brown Coalition, Movements for the Soul. This is the second event that they had at a very similar name, Blank Space, over in East Fort Worth that Dante Williams started. And so we had some artists and different social justice groups come together so that folks who may not be familiar with either or get to learn about both. The North Texas Expo for Young Men is something that we did in 2022. We have a lot of podcast ideas, right? And then organizers are starting their own small businesses, their own LLC, so that they can also get compensated for the talent they have in other spaces. So Maria, for example, is a part of the core team, and Tejiendo Raíces and Resilience is about helping improve language access. And so she does a lot of work that is going to be Spanish speaking, helping support Spanish speaking, and also doing strategic planning for Spanish speaking small businesses and things like that. She's the one who led our dance fundraiser as a way of like engaging the Latino community, promoting that in Spanish and all that kind of good stuff. So the last but not least is invest. We want to invest in the human, social, and physical capital needs for our communities. We invest in local organizers, creatives, artists, organizations of small businesses to improve resource distribution and compensation to sustain the organizing infrastructure in Tarrant County. So that could be making sure small businesses are the ones providing the food, that we're using local venues, we're using local artists, we're supporting local organizers in our community. All right, so ways folks can support this in Tarrant for Change is joining a monthly giving program we call the Organizing Fund. It can be for $10, $25 or more. It can be a one-time investment of over $100 or more. But this helps us build our donor network so that folks are supporting this work and supporting this talent within our communities. Right, so one of the other big things that we do with organizers is we are building collaboration teams. So when we started our first 2 years, we started connecting with a lot of organizers. We connected with over 200 organizers throughout Tarrant County. And we wanted to build collaboration teams throughout these different regions of Tarrant County where people are doing amazing work. And so a collaboration team is where autonomous organizers come together to share each other's work, look for collaboration, look for collaborators. It is not about Tarrant for Change being the umbrella or owning any of this work. It's simply us facilitating everyone coming together so that we can understand the different fights and dynamics that people are having, and also just for learning, right? We need that knowledge to be shared. Organizing is something people step in because there's something they want to fight, but it doesn't mean we've trained folks on how to navigate this work, much less if they want to get into social entrepreneurship and things like that. So here's we do a one-on-one connect with folks, and then we do an onboarding that takes about 2 hours. And so folks will come in, and this is one of our onboarding sessions that we had with organizers to be able to be connected to Tarrant for Change and the resources we have available. So some of those resources include social entrepreneurship, socials, co-working, mental health, and trainings. And for us here today, I'm going to highlight the co-working, where we connect organizers with co-working solutions through Tarrant County. Our office is available for co-working, providing this unique environment that we have. And we also work with partner organizations like AfroCommuniversity, Fence Place, to make sure that folks know other places are available. So we're here most days during the week, and as long as we're here, then we're able to be available if you want to come co-work. Our collaboration team, though, is the onboarding process where we get people connected so that they're in our Slack after that. And then we have a co-working channel where people can say, like, hey, is everyone going to be here during this time? And one of our core team members can say, who will be there. Or in the odd case where we're all out doing work in the community, no one will be available at that time. So we'll see if there's another time that works for folks. But until that collaboration team onboarding happens, you can message us on social media, or you can reach out to me directly if you like, and I can let you know if I'm available or the team's available here. Some of the resources you saw in our office was like the organizing library. We want to have a shared resource library with organizers across the county, so if clipboards are here, megaphones are here, where are all the things that people need, where's the talent that people have different skills, so that people can understand who to access for that. And then we're working on a calendar of events with a programmer so we can merge all of the events happening into one place for everyone. And then space and event rental. So there is a cost to rent directly from Blank, which I'm going to go back here. And I know what I'm like 5 minutes away. So
Oh, no.
I may be just a tad over.
Take your time.
Okay.
We're being flexible.
So if you want to invite the entire space, 3 hour minimum, It's $250 here. There's 7,000 total square feet. There's also the individual studio spaces that can be booked. Let's see. Let me, okay, let me go to studio, sorry. All right, so the Infinity Studio has a price to be able to book it. Let's see, did I miss the price here?
It's not on there. Doesn't look like anything.
Let's see. I think there's a main studios page it has. Okay, content started at $100 per hour for the podcast space. All right, so that's, once again, if you're going to go to Blank directly, that's what the public has access to. But we office out of here, right? And so we offer, we share our discounts with folks, and we also make it equitably. We do a pay-as-you-can model as well. So there's some organizations and some businesses that really have the resources. And so we do want them to be able to pay the price, because that helps us make it more equitably. But if folks are in a position that they need support, well, we have resources in our toolbox that we can leverage so that we can make space available and we can work towards building sustainability through some of that work. And so we're open to all those kind of conversations. We want to make sure that, Blank is getting compensated rightfully for this space that, we're getting charged for and the access we have, and to be able to help keep them running. So it's all about us working together to be able to utilize this space. If we could offer it free for everyone all the time, that we would love to do that, but we're not quite there yet, and Blank is not quite there yet either. So talk to us about your ideas. Let's see how we can do a collaboration potentially, and that way we can share some of those costs and maybe offer some of those discounts to folks as well. Okay. All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the Catalyst project, since I office out of here as well. And some of the work goes beyond Terran for Change's scope sometimes. And so once again, each of the core members of Terran for Change have their own business, so that we can expand the scope of the work, because we may not have all the capacity within the organization itself. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I was like, I want that.
All right, so one thing I've been doing this year is workshop collaborations. So different leaders, different businesses, we do paid workshops so that we can help bring revenue into both of our efforts, but also share the information and the knowledge. So we did 2 workshops around people running for local office during February before the deadline, and it's something we want to continue doing moving forward. This is the arts slate of workshops. So Lydia Face, the co-founder of Terran for Change, her business is a communication thing. On April 12th, we had the Art of Storytelling. And next weekend, we actually have 2 workshops, 2 days for headshots. If people want professional headshots, there's a ticket for that. And then on Saturday, we're going to be doing art and learning about effective art. So how do you build art for a movement for social justice? And how can that be effective? And showing what is different types of art that's utilized to help capture the community around different art. So Gabe will be leading that workshop. Last week we kicked off our mental health series with Choke.
Choke.
And so Choke provided tea, talked about their journey with living in Asia for a few years, and being able to utilize tea as a way of leadership development. There's another colleague who makes cookies that we're going to do something around. She's also a licensed therapist, and she has her own baking cookie business as well. So we'll incorporate that. So some of these other workshops will be coming out soon. And so these are the different series that we're kind of doing to help, once again, spotlight different business leaders, different community leaders, different skills and knowledge, and then be able to bring revenue for the movement, right? Okay, so let's see. So I want to talk about collaborations with ArcPoint Studio since we're here, and how we leverage it to help build content and I mainly do this through the Catalyst project, but we're currently talking to them about Tanner for Change collaborations as well. So Brandy Waller-Pace was Decolonizing the Music Room, had the 5th year of FWAMFest happening, and so we filmed a promotional video here, and we were able to have a press conference here, which was on CBS 11. And so I talked to Arc Point Studios about a reduced rate to be able to do this that wouldn't pull from our hours, that we could maybe collaborate with them on. And then I was able to work with another organization to cover the cost of that. And so Brandy was able to get this access for free. And we're able to have now more assets for her to be able to do more stuff.
Fantastic.
So here's the little promotional video we did.
Hey y'all, my name is Brandy Waller-Pace, and I'm the founder and organizer of the Fort Worth African American Roots Music Festival, or FWAMFest for short. We're excited to announce our 5th annual festival happening on March 15th. FWAMFest is a celebration of the Black traditions at the heart of American roots music. Our mission is to preserve and innovate these musical traditions while amplifying the stories and voices of Black artists who have been instrumental in shaping them. This year's festival promises to be our best yet. We've got an incredible lineup of award-winning artists from across North America, performing traditional and contemporary roots music. You'll also get to enjoy educational sessions, workshops, and more. But FWAMFest is more than just a festival. It's a community. We're building relationships with local organizations, artists, and music lovers from across North America. We couldn't do this without our amazing sponsors and partners. Thank you for your support. Tickets are available now. Do not miss out on this incredible opportunity to experience an event you can't find anywhere else in the area.
Absolutely. For real, yeah.
So mark your calendars and get ready to join us on March 15th. See you at FWAMFest.
So cute. Cute person.
And so once again, that was with the Arc Point production team, their interns, helping us get that recorded right there in that Infinity Studio. And I'm just going to show you one more example with the Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta committee. We also did a promotional video and a press conference where we were able to shoot here. They're bringing their equipment, so we're not having to pay extra for the equipment. They're bringing their staff to do this work. So we're getting like top line talent to work on this stuff. And then we had a press conference here, and then the Tanner for Change team helped with banner building, so that we built the banners with the Tanner for Change team for this particular effort. But then here's their promotion video.
The Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta community of Tarrant County has a rich history that dates back to 2000, when a small group of committed individuals came together to establish a holiday in honor of Cesar Chavez's contribution to workers' rights and social justice. With the support of the community, their efforts paid off when the Tarrant County Commissioners Court unanimously approved the Cesar Chavez holiday in September of 2000.
Desde entonces, el comité ha continuado celebrando este día festivo cada año, promoviendo la educación, la justicia social, la participación comunitaria y el liderazgo. El comité Cesar Chavez y Dolores Huerta de Tarrant County es fundamental para nuestra comunidad porque promovemos la educación, la justicia social y la participación comunitaria.
We celebrate the legacies of two Mexican-American labor leaders who fought for farm workers' rights and civil rights, inspiring future generations to continue their work. By honoring Chavez and Huerta's contributions, we promote a culture of respect, dignity, and inclusivity in Tarrant County.
We will continue to organize events like our annual Solidarity March for Justice and birthday celebrations for both Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta.
As we celebrate our 25th anniversary in 2025, we are committed to continuing our mission.
Join us on March 29th at 10 a.m. in Fort Worth.
Juntos podemos continuar el trabajo de Cesar Chavez y Dolores Huerta hacia un futuro más brillante para nuestra comunidad.
Their work continues to inspire us today, and we're committed to carrying on their legacy.
We will be marching to the downtown Fort Worth to honor the legacies of Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta. Let's come together to demand justice and equality for all. So mark your calendars, bring your family, and let's make our voices heard. Together, we can create a better, brighter future for our community.
Marchemos.
Let's march.
Sí se puede, sí podemos.
Yes, we can.
Sí se puede.
All right, so these are some of the things that for the infrastructure in Tarrant County, the things that we're fighting. These are all the Instagram accounts I'd encourage you to follow and tag in any content that you made. This is what this co-working space allows us to do. We get to create content, we get to collaborate, we get to work on different types of approaches so that we're getting our message out there and we're helping elevate the spotlight on small business owners, organizers, organizations, and everything. So, hope y'all have enjoyed coming here.
Great.
Who wants to collaborate?
A work in progress. Okay. It used to be Funky Town Fridge. We had a fridge here, and it was actually the first fridge that Funky Town had. And it serves the community. It's free food. It's 24 hours, take or leave whatever you need. Unfortunately, the fridge stopped working, and eventually, because of capacity, it was harder to get like volunteers to come clean it up regularly and to upkeep it. But the cool thing about this is that even though the fridge is gone, people still show up and leave things and take things. And so that's why we're like, it's a work in progress, because we don't want it to go away, because it's obviously a need that people are still like showing up. I just met someone this morning that brought a bunch of veggies.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, usually we'll have events out here. We try to do them as outdoors as often as possible, because it's a great space, but also because it's safer for everyone. But this is my favorite space in Fort Worth, I would say. We had picnic tables, but they got a little rundown, so we're working on getting new ones. But if you sit here to read or anything with the trees, it's super chilled. And also back there, it's untouched land all through the back of this, so we think it's really important to keep this space as it is and preserve that, right? And make sure that it doesn't go anywhere. But behind this is also a plot of land that we rent as well. And the dream is that one day it becomes a community garden, but we are not there yet, but it's still the dream. Yeah, and I want to tell y'all about the murals, but also wanted to share a little bit about United Fort Worth. If you've never been here, or if you're not familiar with United Fort Worth, United Fort Worth came in 2017 after SB4 was introduced in Texas, and SB4 is the Show Me Your Papers bill. And all the major cities in Texas joined a lawsuit against this bill because it's racist. And a bunch of people asked Fort Worth City Council to also join the lawsuit. But so they held a vote, and over 300 people showed up to City Council, spoke about why we needed to refuse this bill that is racist, and they still didn't join the lawsuit. So in a way that was heartbreaking, but what came out of that was people were like, oh, people want to organize. People are ready to show up and hold space. And then that's what created United Fort Worth, that coalition of people, and it was all kinds of people. There were several founders who are not completely gone, like they still come and go, and we still hang out and share work together. But now it's the three of us left. But yeah, we still work with all these people. Any questions about that? Okay. And I always like to share about this mural because it's so impressive, but also so important. The mural is called Not Erased, and it was painted by Chris Nakeda, a local artist, as well as organizer with Eyes at a Tarrant, who also created the big butterfly wings in the front room. And those get taken everywhere when we do protests or different things. You'll see them around in our feed sometimes. But the mural, we have, starting from the top on that side, what's that, my right? Okay, that one. We start over there with Ahed Tamimi, who is a Palestinian activist who is known for her confrontations with Israeli soldiers. Then we have Pauline Valenciano, who was a Fort Worth Chicanx activist who passed away in 2018. We have Fred Hampton, who was a part of the Black Panther Party and was killed by police. We have Marsha P. Johnson, who was an LGBTQ activist and central to the Stonewall riots. Then there is Berta Casares, who was the leader of the Civil Council of Popular Indigenous Organizations, and she was assassinated in her home. Then we have Joaquin Luna Jr. on this side, who was a young, undocumented man who took his life based on the fear of his status and his future living in the U.S. And then we have Maria and her family, who are still active members of Eyes at a Tarrant movement. And lastly, in the middle, we have Tatiana Jefferson, who was killed by a police officer in Fort Worth, October 12, 2019. And on this one, I always ask, and I don't know if anyone remembers who made these murals, but what was important for us about this was that we really portrayed Black and Brown unity, and that we center that as one of our values and goals within our organization. Yeah, any questions or anything that you'd like to know about that I didn't share?
Are there ways to support y'all? Like I hear about the fridge and like, are there other things that y'all may need supplies wise or donations?
I'm not sure about donations like to the space at the moment. I think the fridge would be wonderful as we renovate it, if we can get more people to come out and help clean it up. Funky Town Fridge has like fridge captains, and so they're just dedicated to keeping that clean and upkeeping and making sure that what's there needs to be there and things like that. So I think in the future, as we renovate it, that would be great help. But also we are getting ready to launch our website, and you can look us up there, and you can find ways to support as well. Part of the Liberation Justice is we have a bail fund, and so people in Tarrant County can be bailed out, and you can find the form there to how to get help. And you can also donate to that fund. When that one, I think specifically is incredible because we can keep people out, right? And so that's one way to support as well. But as soon as we get our website, there'll be a lot more information of how to get involved. But yeah, please follow us on Instagram and Facebook so you can know the events that are happening. We just had a vigil here for National Immigrant Day of Action, April 17th. With the Tension Watch Network, and we had speakers from Palestinian Youth Movement, Black Alliance for Peace, and Eyes at a Tarrant, and it was really powerful and really beautiful to see all the struggles be connected, like no questions asked, right? Like we were just like, this is definitely something that we all should be working on, that we all should care about, and how are those things connected to all of our liberation. So we often have events in the backyard. We've had community days where we have food and vendors and different organizations table. We've had Freedom School here as well. We used to do every summer. It will be back at one point. But every summer we do political education, and we have different speakers that are local, speak on different things. The last one we had was based on healing, And so we had like a tea bar and a person, I don't remember their name if anyone does, but they taught us about the different herbs we can use. And we had pleasure activism speaker. We've had elders who told us the history of the fight in Fort Worth, which was super powerful because a lot of the times that history is not shared anywhere else, but they know it, and they were so graceful in sharing that with us. So yeah, we've had different events. I don't know if y'all have anything to add.
It's a sacred space, really beloved. I'm sure Gloria already told you about the art and everything, so it's really special to the community. A lot of people, we'll see on Instagram, people have taken pictures back here and then they tag us, let us know that they appreciate the art in the space. But so many people from this local community love this space, and they just come here to just kind of get a reprieve. It's shady, shade trees and everything, and it's just a cool space that we love.
We just invite y'all to reach out, let us know when you want to come and enjoy the space. We have tables and chairs inside that we bring out here for those events, and also you just have a day where you're like, want to come and sit in the backyard, you're welcome to bring like a blanket. People, I know we've done little picnics and stuff back here too.
We've also had yoga before.
Yes. Yes.
But in general, I think it's important to share like just how much resistance and how much fight there is in this ground. All the different movements and all the different organizations that have gone through here. I think it's just built the energy of like the land. So it's really special, and it's my favorite place to read. So if you ever just want to come chill and read, it's really nice.
And we have little friends sometimes that come and say hi. Butterflies, also some little raccoons at night. They're friendly. They're usually just on the top of the fence going back. But some cicadas. It's gonna get loud at some point this summer with the cicadas. But it's beautiful. And I don't know if Gloria Carla mentioned when the center opened.
2017, I did give him a little history on how United Fort Worth came to be.
Yes. So 2017 is when our org came to be, and this center came to be in 2020, like a few weeks before the shutdown.
Oh wow.
So we had our grand opening, and then it was like, boop, shut down. But even during that shutdown time, Gloria, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, because we had the fridge open. A couple of our comrades would be here every day and sit outside and just watch the people come by. So it gave people the opportunity to really meet people in the community and to share about what the space was, right? Because they had just opened and then it shut down, so it didn't really give much opportunity to go out and like tell the neighborhood what's up. But I think that's also one of the big reasons I love the pantry and the fridge, is because you do get to meet like people that live here, right? That live down the street, that might have a need, but also just like having that time to share like who we are, who they are. And yeah, we've met lots of cool people just sitting outside. But yeah, after the shutdown, Cindy and Daniel got to stay back and really talk to people in the community and let them know about the fridge. And like I said, even though the fridge is gone and it's not in the best shape right now, people continue to use that and continue to show up with food all the time. And so it's been really, I think, a blessing for the community to know that there's at least something that they can gather if they really need it. And then the artwork has been compiled throughout the years from all the different movements, and I'm so proud and thankful that we got to like frame all the things inside finally and preserve them. But yeah, those have been like a collection of the years.
Are there items that the community tends to ask for, like the people in the community when it comes to food? Is there something that's kind of popular, it goes off the shelves fast?
I would say everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of the times, because there's no fridge, right? Sometimes things get brought that are not supposed to be brought because there's no fridge. And so I worry, but then you go outside and it's gone. But if you look at Funky Town Fridge, their Instagram, they have really good guidelines and recommendations on what is most useful or most serving for people.
Perfect.
Like mostly like fruits and vegetables, really good. I think they say things like maybe not so much chips or cookies or things that are more like not as nutritious. Yes. Yeah, but water, everything. We've had masks out there. People have brought
diapers, baby formula.
Yeah, baby formula.
That's good. But yeah, for this, since we don't have refrigeration, we do ask that anything you bring here is shelf stable. Shelf stable.
I like to bring partially frozen water bottles in the summertime.
Okay.
Then they melt and it's cool.
Yeah, water is great for here.
Yeah.
That's probably the number one thing that you could bring here is water. Yeah.
Just like freeze it in your freezer at home and then set it out and it just melts throughout the day.
Because a lot of people walk, they're walking and it's hot. So
Yeah, I met some ladies a while ago that were going from school to school, and they're like, they came up and sat down on the front space, so I brought them Gatorade, some water, because they had little kids, and they were like, oh, we're just taking a break, and I was like, I know, here's some water. But they were telling me that they do this trek every day, and this is their rest spot. So I was like, if I'm in here, knock, and we have water and different snacks if you want for the children. So that was cool.
That is cool.
Another fun fact, whenever this pantry gets filled up, it is literally gone within like the hour probably. So you can never put too much over here. It's gonna be gone.
Yeah.
High traffic.
Yeah. A lot of people walk this street.
I have a question. I know a lot of folks here might be interested in like event spaces or like spaces to have small community gatherings. So what would be the process if somebody's interested in having their small gathering or community event here?
Currently, you just reach out to us, just DM us, and if it works with our schedules and everything, then we can move forward. Eventually we're gonna have like a sign up, official like reservation. It's always gonna be free, so it would just be reservation, not rental. But yeah, so for now, DM us. Coming soon, we're gonna have a registration link or a reservation link. Yeah. And eventually we're gonna have some picnic tables. We did have pretty picnic tables back here. We had like 6 of them, but weather and some other things, we had to get rid of those. But we're gonna replace them, so there will be seating back here again. Yeah.
I just love this backyard.
Yes.
Same.
Yes.
Same.
I love these trees.
They love you too.
Event that we call cross-pollination, and it is a very curated space. It's a very intentional space, and so this was the location of our very first cross-pollination, and it was incredible and amazing. I think one of the things that can be challenging as an activistpreneur is finding spaces that align with the aesthetics that I feel are incredibly important to me and the business owners and activistpreneurs that I serve. And so this space was amazing and incredible to have that very first event in, and I really do feel like the fact that we had it here and the energy of the space is a big reason why people continue to come out. So accessible, right? Thank you, and thank you. that feels incredibly important for folks. And we're all working together. So.
Tell us where you drove from for today's crawl.
I drove all the way from Allen, Texas.
Okay, for folks who don't know how long of a drive that is.
It's a little over an hour. Worth it though, worth it.
There we go. Tell us why.
Yeah.
Why was it worth it?
Well, for one thing, Dallas folks, just to get out of our own little area, sometimes we can get so stuck in our own, business as usual, autopilot mode, and to get somewhere out and to see like all the other beautiful things that are happening in DFW. We oftentimes connect with that phrase, but we don't spend that time to engage and connect with how expansive we can be. So in that case, it was beautiful to do that. And I'm excited about actually having that drive time to come back to process everything. This is an incredibly inspiring experience, truly, Jalen. Very inspiring and very it has me excited about coming out here for times to restore, get my head out of my own, just re-engage with what's possible.
So how do you see yourself? Because I would categorize you as an activistpreneur. I would. I would. How do you see yourself engaging with some of the spaces you've seen today?
Well, here, the backyard space at United Fort Worth is just so beautiful and soothing, and there's so much art to help us remember the elders of the movement. Like I can really see offering wellness experiences out in the back, supporting people and processing and being with nature could be so beautiful. And then over at Blank Space, like just having opportunities for a lot of different activistpreneurs and people of commonly marginalized identities to come and like showcase themselves and to be the representation that we need. And it's just so aesthetically beautiful. I just love it. And then Finn's Place. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about utilizing that space for gatherings, for maybe even retreats, for workshops. Like it's so beautifully intimate, but also knowing that money is really supporting people that are worth elevating, worth supporting, that need that dollar more than ever.
Absolutely.
And so utilizing that coin to help support and uplifting us.
Now we can chop that up in about 50 different ways. That was good. That was good. That was good.
Oh, love you so much, Brad.
First of all, thank you for your labor.
Thank you.
Thank you, because I didn't know if I was going to get it. To be honest, the food was hot. I know it's going to be a long day.
We was going to work it out.
So thank you. From the depths of my heart, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Because it's hard to communicate experiences like this
if you don't see it. Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah.
And we need to know more about you and who you are.
I'm usually the person behind the camera. I'm not really an interview person. I'm Aqua. I own the MTS network. I am also the vice president of Finn's Place. I've been building this network for 5 years to provide a platform for everyone to be authentic in who they are, not having to conform to what people say you have to be, being able to use your voice to amplify whatever message it is that you want to put out there. So I have a streaming platform, mtsn.watch, where you can see all of the projects that I've collaborated on or other people's projects that are there just to gain an audience and viewership. So yeah, just out here trying to make a difference the best way I can. I'm out here making a difference the best way I can.
Absolutely. Now, you have had a very unique lens throughout today. So I would love to know, what has today's experience been like for you?
It's been very beautiful, actually. Because I am the vice president of Finn's Place, I spend a lot of time there, obviously. So it was nice to see other spaces that people can gather for various reasons. I've been to Blanc a couple of times, and I've loved it every time I've been. So it was nice to come here and see United Fort Worth. Oh my God, the artwork outside is beautiful. And it's very serene and very peaceful, and it's in a very inviting place that you can come and gather and feel that sense of community. So I really enjoyed that. So getting to capture that was beautiful, and I hope more people can enjoy it and learn more about these spaces to utilize them.
Absolutely. Thank you. We appreciate you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Can y'all hear me? Guys? Yes. Okay. To the James E. Gwynn campus, for folks who didn't know, this entire campus was one of the earliest schools for Black children here in Fort Worth. So when we think all the way back to segregation, right? And where are the spaces in the city that we can look to and be reminded of how far we've come. This is definitely one of those cases. So that is the James E. Gwynn campus. There's a historical marker right there in front of the building. If you want to take pictures of it, it's in the sun. Amen. So we're gonna talk right here. But inside this building, you will find places like the Black Chamber of Commerce. You will find the Economic Development Department or representatives from the city who are also there, and a few other city departments. Again, I love the architecture of this campus. So when you go inside of this building, you will still see the lockers on the wall from the school. And the building is open if you want to go in and browse. This entire campus is managed and owned by the city of Fort Worth. So that works for me as a small business, right, who doesn't have the funds for landscaping, or I don't have the funds for real estate. But it was really important to find a place that was Black in the city, that had the energy of Blackness in the city. And so we landed here on this campus. Right here behind you is Tech Fort Worth. And then in this building right here is Accelerate Fort Worth Foundation, which is kind of like a small startup foundation for small businesses here in Fort Worth. So that is, oh, okay, angles. Look at you. So that is this space, and we're gonna go ahead and head inside. It probably makes more sense why the building looks the way it does and why it's so old, because it is old, and it's very intentional. And again, I love that about this space. So again, this is Accelerate Fort Worth, or Accelerate DFW. It's been around since the 90s, the late 90s to my understanding, but it's been through a couple of different names. So this would be one of the foundations in Fort Worth. If you've heard of Create Fort Worth or institutions like that, that is essentially what Accelerate DFW does. They do small business support, but we're not really here to talk about Accelerate DFW. But it is important to let folks know that who is the person who manages this particular building. And so I'm Jalen, she her pronouns. Founder and visionary of many things here in Fort Worth, but today I really want to focus on the village, the Communiversity Village. So it's an online community for activistpreneurs across Fort Worth. This building is essentially our headquarters. We have members who are here on this tour. And then Brittany is also a member. Pam is also a member. Hey, Brittany! We were just talking about you. In a good way, in a good way. So yeah, this is where majority of our events are going to be held, and this is where the Afrocentric Communiversity's office is located. So again, our office out of here, very, very similar to the same setup as Alex, right? We have a building, we have an office in the building, and I love how we are both co-opting spaces, right? Essentially, you do not have to go through Accelerate Fort Worth to have use of this building. You just text me or call me, and you can get what you need, okay? So this building is open for sure every first and third Saturdays from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. The gates are open. You can drive in. This building is open and you can come in here and co-work. You can have a meeting. You can do all of the things that you need to do. But what's really cool about us having an office here is I essentially have access to this building 24/7. So I have the alarm code for this building. I have the key for the front gate. So if it is locked, I can get in. And that's just to this building, right? Not the other two buildings, but just this one. So essentially I have 24/7 access, which is definitely a perk to be a part of this space. We also have access to the rooms that you're gonna see upstairs and down here. There is a conference room back here that folks can go and look at. That is also available to the general public to reserve. You don't have to be affiliated with anything or anybody to rent that conference room. So that is there. I believe it is $45 an hour for the general public to rent. But also, very similar to Alex, right? We have a point system here as a resident or a tenant of this building. We are more than happy to share our points with people if they need access to things. So there's a conference room down there. Around this corner, I'm gonna basically let people just explore the whole first floor. Around this corner, if you go down this hallway, that's where our office is located. The door is open, so you can go in there and peek inside and see what we have going on. There's also a printer down here on the first floor that we have access to as tenants. And there's a nice little resource table up here behind me. I am notorious for putting my partner stuff or my client stuff or just people out in the community. I know we have the Wham Fest flyers out here. So if you have something going on, go to salon, hand me the things. Okay, I will put them here. Okay, so the general public can have access to them. A lot of different folks use this building. So the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce meets here regularly now. We also have 1 Million Cups, which is like a national group where business owners can come and practice pitching. That happens every Wednesday at 9 a.m. So what's really cool and unique about this table is if you are trying to find that new audience, right, that person who's not 3-4 degrees connected to you, and people who are, okay, amen, okay, very good. You can put it here, okay, put it here, so that people can access it and get the information that they need. So I'm gonna let people explore this first floor. You can see the conference room back there, and then you can go around the corner and check out our office. And then you can come on back and we'll head upstairs. I wanna tell you all a little bit about the village and about the AC, which stands for the Afrocentric Communiversity, and a little bit more about what I do and how this event relates to that. So I'll start with the AC. So the AC is a consulting firm for activist-based businesses, nonprofits, and freelancers. We've worked with folks all across the nation, but majority of our partners, which is what we call our clients, are located in Texas. So we have partners in Houston and DFW, which is primarily where our folks are located. Our specialty is helping folks operationalize their principles and values. So what does that mean? I'm a builder. I love systems. I love processes. I love ways of being. I love culture. And I'm really passionate about helping folks get organized and helping folks build the systems that they need to build for their business or their nonprofit. Our frameworks are plenty. We are an anti-capitalist company. We believe in restorative justice. We believe in Afrocentricity. A lot of our work is based on Black feminism or womanist principles. So that's a little bit about the framework and what we do. So that is essentially what I've been doing full time for the past 3 years, but the AC was started in 2017. Thank you. Now, one of the programs, amen, we on one of our programs is the Communiversity Village, okay? So it is a program of our consulting firm. We've been using the proceeds from the AC to essentially run the village for the past 2 years. We opened it up to the general public in 2022. We've had it since 2019. So again, it's a program. It is not profitable. Okay, I feel like that is very important to say, but it is important that this space stays open and the resources and benefits and perks that members have continues to be a thing. And again, as an anti-capitalist institution, profits are good, but that's not what I'm doing the work that I do for. That is not what God called me to do, to focus on that. While it's a part of the work, it is not the main reason why I do this work. So actually 2 or 3 months ago, the village became fiscally sponsored. Yes. We are now a fiscally sponsored institution, we can apply for grants. By New Endeavor, Texas, and of course, one of the many co-founders of New Endeavor, Texas is Alex. Again, when I say the collaborations and the working together is very, very real in this group, here is one of the many, many ways that it is. So shout out to Alex in New Endeavor, Texas. So I want to tell y'all a little bit about what the village is. It is an online community for activistpreneurs to engage in soul-stirring fellowship and activist-based professional development. So the ultimate goal is we become the radical chamber of commerce. That is what we are going for. We do social entrepreneurship times 10, okay? Hence the term activistpreneurs. Many of the folks that are members of the village or are partners of the AC are activists in their own right? We know that can look a lot of different ways. You can be a healer, you can be a weaver, you can be a builder, you can be a visionary. That looks a lot of different ways. So it is a subscription-based model to be a member of the village. The monthly price is $17.99, and the yearly price is $120 a year. But I also want to affirm you get a lot with your membership. I know we have village members in the building. Raise your hand if you're a village member. Come on to the village member! And I also want to take a second to shout out Brianda, who is in the back. Brianda, I will let you introduce yourself and the work that you do.
All right, I wasn't ready.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hi, my name is Brianda. I am the artist and educator for Culture Still Henna. It is a henna and Java-based brand that's out here in Fort Worth. And my goal is to evoke creativity in all you guys. A lot of times that we don't tap into creativity or we don't really self-express ourselves. And so I use this medium that's an ancestral art that's been around for a long time to kind of guide you and to use as a tool to guide you for the duration as the stain is on you, 7 to 10 days. I have you kind of set an affirmation for yourself so that every time that you're drawn to see your hand, you're thinking of that affirmation. So yeah, y'all, tap on in. I'm here for y'all. And if you have any questions, come to the table.
So Brianda, look at me, I've been saying it wrong. You ain't even saying it. Brianda is here to do henna and jaguar today. So if you are interested in getting your body done up, okay, the table is in the back. The table is in the back. Y'all go ahead and y'all get that done up. It will be covered by the village. That's what you get with your membership. You know what I'm saying? Be covered. Now look. Now we can do 3. Amen. We can do 3. First 3. Amen. Okay.
First 3. Amen. No, we can apply for grants. We can apply for grants. Amen. So again, the village, we imagine a world where Black institutions are fully resourced, from frameworks to finance to support the liberation of their communities. That is the work that we do at the village. Y'all was just there. Amen. Y'all, the butterflies look familiar. Amen. So again, when we're thinking about joining a Chamber of Commerce or a radical Chamber of Commerce, the goal is to make sure that you have access to as many resources as possible. So when you join the village, you get access to a lot of things. You can essentially come to any event that the village has for free. Okay, we do a lot of it. Amen. We have an active job board inside of the online community. We have private rituals and healing opportunities. So from November till about February, we actually facilitated a Sacred Women's Circle, and that's women with an X, okay? So again, full on facilitation. It was virtual and in-person engagement. We had folks in Houston and DFW participate. Again, we just want to make sure that activistpreneurs get served. We have study groups. We also got book clubs, okay? And I'm a member of Alex and them book club, okay? Because it's all about collaboration, right? So we had a study group / reading group for the 50th anniversary of hip hop a couple of years ago. We called it Rapper's Delight. So we read a whole bunch of books about rappers, rap music, hip hop culture. We've also had one called The Conscious CEO, and we read books to really support folks who are like, I want to manage a team, or I'm trying to get my management thing together and I need some support, right? So we read books about that. We also have access, or folks have access to a grants and fellowships database. There are free tools, templates, resources, trainings. There are lives. I go live sometimes on Mondays in the village just to share wisdom and again to just pass along resources that I have. 2 things that come to the top of my head is we do have a template for a caregiving policy inside of the village. So even if you are not a parent, but you might be a caregiver, right? There's a whole template for policy and procedure for that. If you don't need to make one, but you have a 9 to 5 and you need to advocate for yourself and say, hey, y'all need to give me some time off so I can do what I need to do, you can also use the template for that. So again, all of those things are in there, free, part of your membership. And then the last thing, you also have access to our preferred and referred vendors. We gonna talk. But we gonna talk. We gonna talk. We gonna talk. So the preferred and referred vendors are other folks, activistpreneurs in our network who offer discounted or free services to our members. Our newest preferred and referred vendor, raise your hand if you've heard of Dream Performance.
Oh yeah.
Okay, amen. I know you heard of it. Okay, amen. So Dream Performance is our Black-owned gym in Fort Worth. Okay, absolutely. Black-owned gym right here in Fort Worth, Texas. Oh, Meadowbrook. It's in Meadowbrook. Yeah. Okay, the Doc Bookshop. Next door. Same shopping street. That's my street. That's your street. Well, you need to go and get your $65 membership, okay? And with your membership, you get access to unlimited classes. You get a free biometric screening. You get a free personal training session. You get a free wellness check. Again, all free with your membership. That is our newest preferred and referred vendor. We have spiritual coaches in there. We have a lawyer in there for folks who are like, I need to get my contracts together, but I want to make sure they right tight. Amen. We have a lawyer. So again, all free with your membership. So that is a little bit about the village.
We hope that folks join us or spread the word about joining us. The goal is really to, again, I have been financing this out of my own profits and revenues, which means the profit is pretty much non-existent. And again, I'm okay with that, but I'm just letting folks know what the infrastructure and what the operations is. So we try to do as much as we can with the resources that we have, and I think we've done a really, really good job of that. So yeah, if y'all hear of a grant opportunity, if y'all are interested, again, in supporting us, we do have a donation link in our bio on Linktree. You can go ahead and do that. I want to talk about the collaborations that we have been able to do inside the village, and again, why I feel like this event is super, super important. And I'm gonna start with Alex. Okay, amen. Start with Alex. Let me get this together because I'm tired. I'm tired of doing the thing. Okay. In December, Alex and I were able to collaborate together on utilizing this space. Right? Again, a testament to why it's so important to be in close relationship with folks. Alex had it. Well, I'll let you actually tell the story so you can share how you want to.
So one of the groups we've been developing since 2021 is called the Texas Grassroots Alliance. It's really trying to connect grassroots organizers from all across the state. So Tarrant for Change, I showed you all an example of what we're doing in Tarrant County specifically. And New Endeavor, Texas is the other org I helped co-found that's fiscally sponsoring the village. They want to create 14 other Tarrant for Changes in 14 other counties in Texas. So that there's that infrastructure that's in place and that those support hubs. The Texas Grassroots Alliance is really the catch-all, not only for those 15 priority counties, but every county in Texas where folks are fighting the front lines of a more safe, just, equitable, and inclusive community. So one of the big goals that the collective had was having an annual summit. So in 2023, we had our first summit in Houston, and we had a day in Austin as well, which don't recommend having a summit in 2 cities in Texas like that. It was crazy. Last year we had it in Fort Worth. We were going to have it in Dallas, but after the election, our reservation with our spot in Dallas got canceled. And so we had to scramble to figure out, are we going to keep the summit happening or do we cancel it? Well, because Tarrant for Change and the Catalyst Project offices out of Blank and Jalen offices here at Accelerate, we're able to work together so that both spots were utilized to have the summit in Fort Worth versus Dallas, and we just kind of shifted, just a little bit within the Metroplex, right? And that's the power of us having these assets. That's the power of us being able to do that. So we had organizers come from Laredo, from Houston, from Austin, from East Texas, within the Metroplex, come out to the summit to talk about big ideas, to challenge big ideas, and to figure out what are we trying to solve and how do we build infrastructure by 2030. So that was a huge, huge moment that was only made possible because of this type of relationship and these type of collaborations.
One of the perks that we offer in the village is free coaching. So something that I recognize, yes. So I recognize that consultants and coaches are extremely inaccessible, and that is by design. And I would spend time in consultations, and folks would say, "I really want to work with you, but I can't afford it." And I'd be like, "Okay, okay." And so I was like, "Well, how can we make this more accessible, right?" So in the village, we offer or raffle off 2 1-hour strategic coaching sessions each month with your membership. It is literally on a first come, first served basis. We had one person, again, she is in Houston, has a nonprofit, could not afford a coaching consultant, snagged every single strategic coaching session for a year. And that is how she made her strategic plan for her nonprofit, right? And that was when the village was, I think she was at $4.99 a month at one point, because we were doing that, and then it was $10.99 a month. So again, extremely accessible. We've had folks who have relocated back home to Fort Worth or just moved here and said, I'm trying to figure out what's the place that I can plug into to get involved and like know what's going on and figure out how to navigate the city in a very particular way. And folks have been very successful with that. And we've also been able to make sure that people can access other resources in the city, like Parent for Change and all of the work that Alex is doing with the Catalyst Project. There are many folks that we both work with. Again, it's about collaboration and making sure people's needs can get met in whatever way that they can. So if you're interested in engaging, we do have routine events that happen each month that are open to the general public. You can find them on UBMe, okay? Sometimes they're on Eventbrite, but UBMe actually is much cheaper on the percentage that they take out than Eventbrite. And so that's one of the reasons why I enjoy them. They actually came and did a full presentation to the village about how to navigate their platform, and they gave us also some technical assistance support. Again, you're looking for a chamber of commerce, that's the kind of stuff you're trying to get access to. We have, of course, our cross-pollinations, which is our remix networking events. They happen on occasion. I wish they could be more consistent. I have a very small team. Queen was on the team for a year and some change. I do have another project support catalyst, but their name is Hannah. Hannah mostly works in the consulting firm side, but pretty much whatever you see from the village is me. It's all me. So we are hiring for a village support catalyst, which would essentially be the person who would help me facilitate and navigate these spaces. So if you know anyone who is interested, or if you are interested, look, I'm trying to look at the ceiling, in the role, you know what I'm saying, please apply. Everybody at the AC makes $30 an hour, including myself, which is about $5 more than what city employees make here in Fort Worth. I think it's 20 and 25. So again, we're trying to be as equitable as possible in all ways. We are horizontally structured for the most part. We are extremely collaborative. And yeah, that's the village. Any questions for me? And again, please feel free to activate Brianda whenever you are ready. But any questions for me? Stephanie!
Good time, man. Yeah. Would you say that the village is catered to Texas-based organizers, or like nationwide, or what?
That's good. We do have members who currently span across 6 cities. So you do not have to live in Texas. But majority of our in-person activations and events are in Fort Worth. Sometimes we will go to Dallas, but for the most part, everything that we do is here in Fort Worth. And a dream is to have different chapters, right, across the nation. I do think it's important to emphasize like some of the unique aspects of all of the different spaces that we've seen today. So I know when we think about United Fort Worth and when we think about Terran for Change, we have that organizer lens, right? We have the lens of the folks who are on the front lines and making sure they get supported. Not saying that we don't support them in the village, but the village is more catered to folks who are activists, right? Which is a little bit more of a broader term than organizer or someone who is on the front lines. And we also cater a lot of our support to folks who are building institutions, right? So if you are building a business or if you are building a nonprofit, that's really where all of our resources are poured into. hence the term activistpreneur. And ideally, you know, we do want folks to become frontline folks. We want folks to become organizers. The village is in this very unique position to gather folks who are like, I have this lens, but I'm not ready yet. Or I have this lens and I recognize that I need just a little bit more support to get there. So when I think of myself in relationship to United Fort Worth and Tarrant for Change, it is a pipeline, right? And making sure that you get what you need here, but you are always in close proximity to what's happening on the ground. And I think that's a very important characteristic of an activistpreneur, to always remember how far away am I from the organizer or from the frontline worker, right? Like, if I'm too far removed from the protest, like, what does that mean, right? If I'm wearing this identity as an activistpreneur. So, yeah, good question. Any other questions?
Just one other little pitch to add. So all the workshops I shared that I've been doing as a Catalyst project and that we have lined up that we want to continue to bring out, I always send a code to Jalen so that not only does Jalen, the staff, but 3 village members get free access to those workshops. So it is a first come, first serve when it comes to that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And if Jalen had to push on me to let more in, it could be possible, right? So I think access to the village is something that we want to help as a partner, as somebody who's doing work adjacent, you know, in the universe. We continue to help provide members of the village other resources and other things that don't always have to come directly from Jalen or from the team. And so, I think that's what gets really exciting about the collaboration.
Yeah. And I know Tamika and Brittany, right, have been recipients of that very specific perk of our collaboration. And I know they've both gone to workshops recently. So, yeah.
Another question. I'm like a plant or something. Do you have like examples of what skills you teach and what are the...
Absolutely.
Yeah, what gets addressed in the village?
Absolutely. So I do a lot of things by request, actually, which again, I think is what makes the membership so incredibly unique. Again, when you cannot afford that coach or consultant, but you want that customized support, the village is a place where you can say, can you make a series on this? And I'll do it, right? Or I need a tool on this. Just somehow it'll magically appear in the village, right? But the way our events are structured is each month there is a theme that everything is centered around. So let's take the month of April, for example. We focused on storytelling and outreach. So every first Monday of the month from 12 to 1 o'clock, we have something called Kickstarter calls. And again, these are recorded. And that specific session supported folks with storytelling, right? How do you walk into a networking event, which everybody hates, right? Like, nobody wants to walk into this damn place and be like, what do you do? And then it's like, you know, everybody hates it. It's very much so dreaded. So there are some templates in there for folks that they can use and utilize. And I also gave some strategies on, okay, how do you identify? Right? If you walk into a space like this, it might be comforting to rely on this framework, right? Like the social change framework or the social change ecosystem framework, where it's like, I am a builder and a visionary, right? But that might not translate to if you just so happen to stumble into a Black Chamber of Commerce event, right? You might need a different strategy. So all of that was laid out there. Tarrant for Change, the Catalyst Project, had a storytelling workshop with Lydia. Folks were able to go and get storytelling from that perspective. So we center everything around a very specific theme or topic just to make the content a little bit more cohesive that way. So yeah, we've done storytelling, we've done Friendship and activistpreneurship. Again, our reading groups are another example of that, of like very topical based learning and development and things like that. So. Any other questions, wonders? What?
What's your theme for May?
May, we're focusing on mental health. So our Kickstarter call is called Keeping Your Mind Right, and it's just basically a Zoom room where people get to say what they want to say, and we're not recording it. We will be attending an event at Dream Performance on May 31st. If I'm not mistaken, I'm definitely adding Finn's Place event, the operational safety, that will be on there as well. And I will also attend the sound bath at Dream Performance. There's a sound bath that happens there every third Wednesday of the month, so we'll go there together.
I saw on one of your slides it says this is the only community for radical community for Black women in Fort Worth. Can you speak a little bit about that?
Yeah. So when we look across the landscape of Fort Worth, there are a lot of collectives, there are a lot of spaces, there are a lot of groups, right, that are for Black women. But in the research that I have done, recognizing that I don't know everything, but from what I have seen and engaged with, the Village is a very unique space for radical Black folks, specifically Black women, and that's women with the X. We have a lot of queer folks in our community. We have a lot of mothers in our community, and that is a very unique thing for Fort Worth and Black folks.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Y'all ready for a second plate? Absolutely. Y'all want a second plate?
Did you get a first plate?
I didn't get a first plate.
Yeah, it's okay. Let's get you a plate.
I'll get there eventually. But yeah, I want to thank y'all so much for joining this crawl. I hope you learned something new about the city. I hope you found a new space that you want to engage in, that you can call your new co-working home. And yeah, hopefully more of this, more of these. And I'm just so appreciative to everybody for coming and engaging. So thank you.